And what is good? What is happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Milan, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. Every Thursday after Thursday Night Football. And guess what? We had another wild Thursday night game this time around. It's always weird, it's always wacky, and you don't know what's gonna happen. But here, every time breaking down the weirdness, I'm always with my boy Caleb. Caleb, how are you, my brother?
I'm okay, man. I'm just ready to talk about my Cowboys kicking ass again.
Yeah. Your Cowboys were very good. Yes, they were very good. We'll speak about that game a little later. You know what I mean? We don't have to speak about it right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of a sore subject for one of us. You know what I mean? But now let's first talk about the Thursday night game. Tampa Bay Eagles. What were your takeaways on the game, Kill?
I thought this was gonna happen going into it. Like I said on our Tuesday show, I thought it'd be a closer game, and it didn't start out that way. It eventually ended up that way. I thought the Bucs would win, obviously, because they're a better team, and they showed it. And but they didn't. The Eagles didn't exploit the. Well, they did and they didn't because Jalen Hurts was very off. He was totally inaccurate in this game. He was looking for 3 quarters. They couldn't score. The only reason why they scored is because they had short fields on these 2 pass interference plays that got him down the field and gave him good position to go in and score real quick. But that's really all they were doing. Those 2 penalties, basically their whole offense for about 3 quarters, and they started kind of getting going in the fourth, and that's when they got made it close. But but Buccaneers did what they had. They took care of business, went on the road and beat a bad Eagles team.
Yeah, they're bad. This game tells me more about the Bucs than the Eagles themselves. Like I understand it's a Thursday night game. You're just trying to survive, but this is the Eagles, man. You should your offense stalled in the second half. You know what I mean? You scored 21 points. You're up 21-7. You're up 21-7, and you kind of did nothing in the second half to try to put them away. They always lingered. They were just lingering throughout the game. And Tom Brady, he looked aight, but it's a Thursday night game, so most of these people would look aight. And the Bucs, they have a massive issue. They have a massive issue that good teams can exploit. They have no cornerbacks. Their secondary is very fragile. It's very depleted. It's paper mache. Sean Murphy-Bunting ain't there. Carlton Davis ain't there. Jamel Dean was there. Richard Sherman got injured in this game, so they lost the corner they just signed.
Yeah.
The only DB that I trust is Antonio Winfield, and he's a safety. You know what I mean? He's not a real corner. He's not a corner. So they're screwed. But their pass rush, kind of hides their warts a little. But a good team with a good offensive line, those warts will be exposed. And quick passes. That's how you beat them. Quick passes, so you don't get so the rush doesn't come after you. You quick pass on the DBs and the linebackers, and it didn't look very good for the Bucs. Just underwhelming.
Yeah, well, one thing they did do good, which they haven't been doing all season, was run the ball. They gave it to Leonard Fournette over and over, which they really haven't done all season. He had not been doing good. Neither of the running backs, either Ron Jones or Fournette, have not been doing good this season. And I guess they made it a point where they said, "Yeah, we're going to run the ball on the Eagles." And that's what they did, and I think they controlled a lot of the time doing that.
Yeah, so Leonard Fournette had 22 for 81 and 2 touchdowns. Ronald Jones had 5 for 20, and Tom Brady had 4 for 1. That's 102 yards rushing. That's 102 yards rushing with his 293 yards passing for Tom Brady. Antonio Brown, looked good. O.J. Howard played, which was,
Yeah, didn't know he was still on the Bucs.
I didn't even know he was still in the league, to be honest. But with Robert Gronkowski injured and he's injured and out, so he has to step up. He stepped up very good. See, that's how boring this game was. I was falling asleep.
Yeah, it was pretty boring.
It was pretty boring. It wasn't like a
lot of the third nights have been really good, really surprising.
Yeah, even the Jacksonville Cincinnati game,
turned into a good game.
They turned into a
this
good
one
game.
just
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Rams Seahawks was good last week. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then the first Thursday night game with Cowboys Bucks was a good game. But those are special. That's a special Thursday night game. Those really don't count. That's opening night, so they don't really count to me. Like that's not a Thursday night game. But yeah, these Thursday night games are usually wacky, weird. Sometimes the team that shouldn't win wins. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get a game like the Niners Rams game one year where it was 41-38. You know what I mean? You get those games on occasion, but this game was, was meh. It was eh. It is
yeah,
what
it
it is, you know.
was a game.
Yeah. It was a game. Yes, that's what it was. It was a game, Caleb. That's what it was. It was a game. Any other thoughts, Caleb?
Not really. Just hoping in the Bucks lose, give us a better chance at the
Number one
number
seed.
one seed. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
at least, either way it works for us because the Eagles lost, so that gets better in the division. So I was happy either way.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we go into the game, I just want to point something out. Uh, Today was a momentous day in hockey. The Seattle Kraken won their very first game ever. We beat the Nashville Predators 4-3. Brandon Tanev had 2 goals. One was by Jared McCann. And then Alex Batul Barre Batul had a good assist and an Alex Winberg score. I just want to shout out to my Kraken. Shout out to my Kraken. Let's go, baby. You're doing good. You know what? Who are we against? All right, I'll check later. But we're on to whatever the team we're against on. We're gonna beat them too. All right, now it's back to football. Back to football. All right, Caleb. We'll start in the early window. Um, the early window. The games in the early window. Whoa, this is not. Is this the game? Yeah, this is the week. Nothing really was eye opening in the early window. The Falcons beat the Jets in the London game. The
Yeah,
the Patriots beat the Texans. Whatever. Lions beat the Lions lost to the Vikings. The Lions almost won. They almost
yeah.
won, man.
The coach
They almost won.
cried.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the biggest shocker of the day: the Eagles beat the Panthers.
Yeah,
Yeah, they beat the
how'd that
Panthers.
happen?
Now, I have no idea how that happened. I understand that the Panthers are kind of like maligned on their offense because they lost CMC, so they don't know what to do. But they should have at least beaten the Eagles. That was one of the biggest surprises of the day. Uh, any game that stood out to you in the early part of the window, Caleb?
Um, Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess that was the only surprising thing that happened was that was the biggest surprise maybe the weekend is that the Eagles would beat the Panthers like that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Star Drew. He says, no. Shout out to Derek. He says, congrats first. Thank you, Derek. Star Drew says, way to go. Seattle Kraken. First win. You misspelled Kraken, Star Drew. And Derek, Caleb, for the betting man, he took Eagles plus 5.5. Yeah.
They
Which is
they did not cover.
they did not cover.
They lost by 6.
They lost by 6. Yes, they did. They did not cover. They did not cover. Yes, they did not cover. And I was really like the Sunday night really picked up in the mid-afternoon window, in the afternoon window, where we had Bucks, Dolphins, Packers, Bengals, Steelers, Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
Raiders, Bears, Raiders, and then the Chargers, Browns. That was wild. But first, let's talk about this. Tom Brady was against the Dolphins. He had 5 passing touchdowns. Completely took the Buccaneers, took the Dolphins apart. We don't need to talk about that game. Titans beat the smackdown on the Jaguars. Derrick Henry owns. Oh. Panthers Eagles was 5.5.
Well, yeah, that was a good pick.
Yeah.
I did not.
Panthers is. Yeah. Tampa Bay was -7. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. So Derrick Henry owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's nothing new. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. There's nothing really more you can say. But now let's talk about Packers Bengals. This is when the wackiness of the day started, Caleb, because
Yeah,
five missed game-winning field goals.
yeah,
Mason Crosby went from scapegoat to goat in less than 5 minutes. Caleb, when you were watching that game and you were seeing this unfold, what was going through your mind? Were you saying like this game shouldn't be this close? The Packers should have been beating them hard,
Oh no,
or
no, 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 no. Because
no?
if you saw last week, I took in my bets, I took the Bengals +3, which is very disheartening because they lost by 3. So it was a push,
Mm-hmm.
and that so I predicted that the Bengals. I thought the Bengals were going to win because I just like I said, I love the home dog. The home dog's been is it's a winner a lot of the time, and this was the best home dog of the week because they're the best team out of all the home dogs, and I think they really should have won this game. They should have won this game. They had the last field goal to in overtime, and he missed it. He was way off, and I mean Packers, and then the Packers kicker Crosby finally kicks it out of nowhere just to screw my bet, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. He did that just screw me pretty much.
Yeah, when I was watching this game, and I was like, "Yo, man, like this game is wild." And then when Mason Crosby missed that first one, I was like, "Oh, Joe Burrow's gonna win this." Then he throws an interception. It was very
No,
uncharacteristic. He was very uncharacteristically threw. That's a word right there. Uncharacteristic. That was a word. That's a word right there. He threw it. It's unlike him. He just like he was lollygagging, just threw an interception to Devondre Campbell. It's like, yeah, whatever. Man, like I was like, and then we find out later on he had a throat contusion. Something happened to him. And I'm like, come on, man. Like you played better than this. You should have been better than this. And honestly, man, like Burrow was cooking. He was cooking. But he did have 2 interceptions. He did have 2 interceptions. I think they should have given more to like. See, here's the thing: Joe Mixon only had 10 carries for 33 yards.
yeah.
Give Joe Mixon the ball. Give him the ball, and you win the game. But they didn't because they decided to go full on shootout with Aaron Rodgers, and I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And Devontae Adams is showing you that he's like basically unstoppable. You know what I mean? Nowadays,
Well, yeah.
he had 206 yards and a touchdown, 11 catches. Like Jesus Christ, man! Like that's not okay. That's like
But on the other side, Jamar Chase is doing good things over there too.
yes, he is. You know what? Like Jamar Chase. Here's the thing: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. That's a very good trio. You know what I mean? Cincinnati always got these good trios, man. They always got these good trios, man. Ocho Cinco, T.J. Hushmanzada, Chris Henry, A.J. Green, Marvin Jones Jr., Mohamed Sanu, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. And you're like, every single time, they always have a good trio. Like, how? Why? How do you do this? They always have one, Caleb. They always have one. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. They always have a good
Yeah,
trio.
they do.
It's
They want to
wild.
have receivers.
They know how to draft them, and they know how to. Because let's be real, man. T. Higgins is pretty damn good. T. Higgins is pretty damn good. And you know what? Ravens fans know how good he is because Ravens fans wanted him. Shout out to Jose in the chat. Jose. Old Ray Chase. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chase. That's what he meant. My bad. Chase has been balling. Shout out to Corey Cameron. Sadly, they couldn't put out the win by passing on LT Ferris. Yeah, you know what? I would have drafted the left tackle anyway. Like, no offense to Jamar Chase, but I would have drafted. Like, Jamar and Kadarius Toney are the same thing. Good player, bad pick. Because both teams need offensive linemen. And then the Giants.
I mean, it's working out for the Bengals because
it's working out for the Bengals. It's not working out for the Giants, okay? Even though Kadarius Toney,
But that's probably because they have a better quarterback.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney?
No, the Bengals have a better quarterback than the Giants. That's why it's working out better.
Yeah, because it's Joe Burrow, man. It's Joey B. It's Joey B smoking. You know what I mean? Joey B smoking, bro. You know Joey B smoking. Because he was smoking the cigar after the national title, sitting on the couch. That's why I call him Joey B smoking. Anything, your final thoughts on this game, Caleb?
No, I mean, I believe the Bengals are a really good team. Like, they're I think they're one of the better teams in the AFC, even though the AFC is full of good teams right now. I think they're up there with them. Like I said, they should have won this game, and that's beaten. They should have been. They were at least going into overtime with one of the best teams in the NFC. So I still haven't changed my opinion on them. I still think they're a really good team. I still think they're going to being that playoff picture.
Yeah, I think they'll be there at the end. They'll be there. Yeah, they'll ruin somebody's playoff by beating them. You know what I mean? They'll ruin somebody's playoff picture. All right, Caleb. Now let's move on. A game that I really want to talk about. I don't want to talk about Steelers Broncos because Steelers Broncos. No offense to Adelia, but man, who cares? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, it was surprising. I mean, I didn't expect them to win.
Yeah, I
I mean,
expected
I
the
didn't expect
Broncos
them
to
to even
win.
have any offense.
Yeah.
But some Big Ben just has a tiny bit left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess he has a little droplet. He has a little droplet of goodness in him. You know what I mean? I should have drafted a quarterback early in our fantasy league, bro. I got saddled with freaking Ben Herthesberger. You know what? And by the way, man, no offense, yo, Davon, wherever you are, you're a horrible person for taking Geno Smith over me. I wanted Geno Smith. I needed Geno Smith.
I needed him. I got Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I have Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, pretty much the same.
Yeah. I hate you, Davon. Let's talk about it, Caleb. Bears, Raiders. I think the Raiders didn't want to play this game because they do not like John Gruden.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it totally impacted their play. I mean, they just didn't show up. I mean, I predicted the Raiders win. It was one of my bets that I picked them to win. Usually the Raiders play good at home. I literally thought it was basically, if I had known the Gruden information before when I made my picks, obviously I make my picks earlier in the week, and that information came out late in the week. I just would have stayed away from the game altogether. But they didn't come out to play. The Bears did what they're doing. They're not really relying on Justin Fields. They're just running the ball. In the last two games, they're just heavily relying on the run game, and it's working. They're running all over these teams, and they're pulling out wins somehow.
Yeah, man. They have a game. But yes, Jose. I need Geno Smith. I needed him. Yes. That is a phrase I said. That's a phrase I said. Yes.
I'm with you. My guy's on a bye.
Yeah, shout out to Geno Smith.
I needed him worse than you did.
Yeah, that's true. So man, it's just I think the Bears have a philosophy now. Matt Nagy has took his ego out, saying, "Hey, Bill Lazor, you call the plays," and Bill Lazor has realized for a young quarterback, play action, tight end, quick throws, and that's what they did. Shout out to the West Coast Crackdown, a Seattle Kraken podcast, for subscribing. Was that? I don't know how that happened. How did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know how that happened because that's my podcast, and I didn't do anything. I'm weirded out. We'll see. Thank you, though. Thank you, me.
To yourself.
Thank you to me. Yes. Yeah. Thank you to me. Yes. Man. Run game, quick throws, pepper it down the field with the run game. And now they're with Khalil Herbert. They used to do with David Montgomery. Then he got injured. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So and
it still works. I mean, he got more yards than he had the most. He was the lead rusher in that game.
Yeah, Khalil Herbert. But this game really is not about the Bears. It's not about the Bears. It's about the Raiders and the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know what I mean? Your thoughts, Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically
about
what
the
it
situation?
is. Yeah, but no, not. We all know about the situation. He's a horrible human being who needs to be fired, and other people in the Washington football team need to be fired. But that situation, which
was really the main focus that people should be looking at is why the Washington football team haven't got any ramifications from this.
Exactly. They're trying to save Dan Snyder. So they're gonna shoot everybody. They're gonna clap everybody, but he won't be because he what he did is grounds for being forced to sell your team. You know what I mean? You should sell your team. You should Dan Snyder shouldn't own a pro football team. You know what I mean? Bar none, book it, you name it. He shouldn't be running a football team. Period. You know what I mean? See, Jose, how y'all trying to start behind the shot? Yes, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They're using Sean Taylor, the most beloved player in their franchise. In their franchise. modern Washington football team, and they're using him as cover for this. It's disgusting. And no offense, if I was Sean Taylor's family, I would be like,
Yeah.
no, because I know what you're doing. Because this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know it. They didn't
I
announce it. They just like, oh, we're doing
we're
this
doing
today.
it. Yeah, like I didn't know, and it's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. That man shouldn't be owning a team. They made Jerry Richardson. Brodney knows very well because he's a Panthers fan. If Brodney's watching, they made him sell the team after multiple allegations of sexual harassment. Dan Snyder has done that plus worse.
Well, I don't think they forced him. I think there's a difference.
Jerry Richardson.
Yeah, I think he willingly sold his team. I know. He didn't want to take the embarrassment of what he did, and he sold his team. You forced them by that, but they didn't actually say get all together and say you have to sell your team.
Yeah,
I don't
no, yes,
like in a formal way.
Yes,
like
they
the
did.
NBA
They didn't say
did.
that. Yes, the NBA. Well, yeah, the NBA kind of did that, but the NFL they did it. We just didn't
Well,
know.
the NBA did more forward. Like all the owners, like yeah, no, you have to sell your team. I don't think the NFL really did that.
I'm saying they did that. We just don't know they did that because.
Well, they could have. They could have.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? They, like even the owners who hate each other, they still talk. These people still have to talk to each other. You know what I mean? Like one and a half, six of one, half of a dozen of another. Caleb. Yeah, no, it's the same thing, man. They forced it because they're like you have to be gone, and he said fine. If 31 owners are telling one owner you got to go, you're gonna sell your team. Like you know what I mean? And no offense, I don't know how Dan Snyder still owns a team after this, dude.
He's got dirt on other owners.
Probably he probably got massive dirt. You know what I mean? Like
and they don't probably want to set the precedent that you could just over some dirt you from your past or whatever you have to sell your team for that.
Exactly.
So I don't think they really want to do that.
Yeah. And no offense, and honestly, with Donald Sterling in the NBA, he was an outsider still, even though he owned the Clippers. The other owners really didn't like him, and he really didn't like know him like that. The NFL owners, they know each other. They're homies. Two families are actually connected by marriage and children. The Maras and the Rooneys are connected because one Mara married a Rooney and created Rooney Mara. Yes, Rooney Mara is like Rooney Mara, like
the actress.
Yeah, the actress.
She's a good actress.
She is. Yeah, she's the connecting force between the Giants and the Steelers. Her and Kate Mara. Kate Mara as well. Shout out to Kate Mara. Like they're sisters, and they're connected to both families. You don't think Jerry? You don't think Jerry's friends with a couple people? You know what I mean? Jerry's probably, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're all friends with each other. And Dan Snyder's not going to get fired. He gave controlling operations to his wife.
Yeah, whatever. Which is basically the same thing. Like if your wife is only doing all this, it's basically you're doing it. You're just telling her what to do. Like what are you talking about? This is stupid.
Exactly, and that's why they'll never be successful, like ever, because their owner is horrible. Like I complain about my owner a lot. I think my owner isn't a man. Like he's a coward. I'm gonna call him a coward. He's like, I don't want to use crass language, but the dude's a pussy. No, I'm not gonna say pussy. The dude's a bitch. He's a bitch. You know what I mean? I don't think John Mara has a backbone. You know what I mean? And he's a hypocrite too. He's a hypocrite. He's a straight hypocrite. You know what I mean? Yeah, he complaining about Odell Beckham Jr. being too emotional, and he out here throwing chairs and sweets. Like, you know what I mean? And then like him, and he's stupid. David Gettleman should have been fired. You know what I mean? He should have been fired. Fired. You know what I mean? Like he should have been fired. Like he shouldn't have a job anymore. And he kept him. Like he was ready to fire Jerry Reese after years with Jerry Reese. He was ready to fire Tom Coughlin after years with Tom Coughlin. He fired Ben McAdoo like that. Because Ben McAdoo said Eli Manning isn't good. He isn't. He's not very good. We need a new quarterback. He fired him like that. But he can't fire Dave Gettleman. I don't know why. I have no idea why. And it irritates me. Shout out to Davon. Shout out to Davon. Davon's in the chat. Shout out to Davon. Davon, I don't know if you watch this. I still hate you. I needed Geno Smith. Shout out to Brendan. Brendan just showed up.
What's
Shout out to
up?
Brendan. Yeah, I kept. Now let's move on before I go on a rant about John Mara. I kept. Now I think the game of the year right now, because it was wild,
Mm-hmm.
is Rams. No, not Rams. Browns, Chargers. 47-42. It was really quiet in the first. It wasn't really quiet. It was 20-13, and then in the fourth quarter, boom, 26 points for the Chargers, 15 points for the Browns, and it exploded. And Caleb, what were your thoughts on this game? Because I got thoughts. I just wanted your thoughts first. What are your thoughts?
Well, it keeps you know showing how Baker Mayfield can't pull it out. Can't pull it out, and then the Browns gave all their effort in that Chiefs game to beat the Chiefs, and they couldn't do it. They do the same thing here. They give their best game. They put it all out on the field, and they still couldn't beat the good team. That's what they can't do that. They don't have the quarterback to beat these good teams. They're going to beat all the bad teams, and Baker just said the throws he was making, these short little crappy throws on the last drive to try to score. Like, what are you doing? Like, you need to put it down the damn field. You need to go and score. You can't be doing this garbage crap. They run on third down when they should have passed it. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you got to go downfield. You got to win this game. You, Baker Mayfield, have to win this game, but you can't because you're not good enough. You're not good enough to win these games, and they shouldn't sign this guy for a long term because he's not the guy to win your games. He's not going to win your Super Bowl. He ain't gonna win no playoff games. Like, you can't win with him.
Hey man, Baker Mayfield. I got into an argument with Matt Thomas on Twitter about this. Baker Mayfield is very good. It's very good. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's not great. He's not great. Good players need great everything to win Super Bowls. The Browns don't have great everythings. Their defense is lackluster. Their receivers are meh, and they have Odell Beckham Jr. for Christ's sakes. He had 2 catches for 20 yards.
Because he just on the same page. They're on the same page.
I don't understand it. Like, David Njoku had a breakout game. 7 catches, 149, 21.3 yards per catch, and a touchdown. It's phenomenal. And then here's the thing, Justin Herbert is not to be messed with. Davon agrees. Davon, he throws strawberries through battleships, is one of the quotes said about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert he's great. He's special.
Yes.
You have Baker Mayfield, who's good. I'm not saying he sucks. See, that's the thing. I'm not saying he sucks. He's good. He is good. But the enemy of great is good. I don't want good. I want great. Justin Herbert's great, and he's special. Baker Mayfield's good. He's fine. Baker Mayfield is a plate of baked chicken and white rice. Justin Herbert is filet mignon. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert is a 12-hour smoked brisket. That special thing. Cut down the middle and you can see the smoke and the meat. Baker Mayfield is juice. It's regular old apple juice. Justin Herbert is great poupon parfait. You don't know what that is, do you?
No,
it's weird, right? It's weird. You know what? Justin Herbert was so great, I almost became a Chargers fan this weekend because I was so angry with the Giants. I didn't do it because I'm not going to do that to the Chargers. Because wherever I go in sports fandom, pain follows. And I don't want that to happen to them. Because I want them to be successful. I want the LA Chargers to be good. Because people don't care about the LA Chargers. By the way, Great Poupon Parfait doesn't exist because that sounds disgusting.
The mustard.
Yeah. No, that's that's honey Dijon. That's honey Dijon.
Okay.
Great Poupon is like some other thing.
I thought that's mustard.
Probably, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, he's a. Damn, I am hungry. I'm hungry. But you get my point. He's special. He's good. You know what I meant. You know what I mean. Like, and here's the thing too, man. There's a couple of calls that went the Chargers' way that were kind of iffy. But guess what? The game was still in the hands of the Browns to win the game. Even
Yeah.
with the egregious calls, there was one call on Darnell
Yes, it was egregious.
Yeah, there was one play on Darnell Parham Jr. where it was clearly offensive pass interference, and it
Yeah.
should have been called, but it was called defensive. That one was
Yeah.
horrible. But let's not
Horrible
act
call.
like yes, it wasn't
We
like
all know it's horrible.
we all know it was horrible. But you could have still won the game.
Yes, you could
That's
still
my
won
thing.
if your quarterback was better.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Oh, Grey Poupon is just honey Dijon mustard with a fancy name. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Exactly. That PI didn't give up 47 points though. Exactly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I understand they were missing a couple of pieces, but you know what I mean? Like you want to be good, or do you want to be great? And the two teams that were very good that they played this year, the two teams, they've blown it. Blew it against the Chiefs, blew it against the Chargers,
Yeah.
and they beat the bad teams. And I understand the old Browns would have lost those games to the bad teams, but guess what? We're not talking about the old Browns.
Yeah.
These are the Browns of the past 2 years who are expectations to be playoffs and Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're
You're
like one of the
supposed
most
to,
talented teams in the league,
yes,
and you're just good. You're good.
yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
should be great, but you're not because you're the Browns.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, bro, they're a good team. They're a good team. They're not great. They're a good team. Hey man, this is a great shirt. Hey, this is a great shirt. You shut your mouth, Jose. You shut your mouth. You know what? You know what? You Nets people. How about you go worry about your conspiracy theorist at point guard? Okay, go
I mean, not
talk
gonna
to
be there
him.
for long.
He's not gonna be there for long. Go talk to him about how we've been having vaccine mandates for years. How we have vaccine sheets to go to school. Yeah, go tell him. Go tell World Be Flat to do his research. You know, Jose, you should do your research. He just got his 90s collector's items that let him live. Yes, man. Yes, I did. I have a baby Patrick. I have a little miniature of Patrick Ewing. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, man.
I'm hold on. I'm right here.
No, they can't because they would have to go
No,
eight and
because
nine.
yeah, exactly.
But
They did not.
yeah,
But
yeah, eight doesn't.
they'll beat the bad teams. If they play more bad teams than good teams, then they'll probably have a
Yeah,
winning record.
yeah. And you know this game, man. The like we know, man. The Browns, they're a running team. They were running. You know what, Jeremy? Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. No, we not. Because you know why? Because we're getting everybody back. Mitchell Robinson will be back. We got a better bench this year. Shut your mouth, Jeremy. You know what, Jeremy? I don't like you sometimes. I don't like you. All right. But again, final thoughts on the Browns game. My final thoughts was this. Chargers are extremely special. Next week's game against the Ravens is going to be great. I can't believe that game's not on prime time, which is disgusting. Which is really disgusting. I don't know why we're watching Steelers. Steelers. Who was it? Steelers who? Steelers who?
Uh,
Seahawks? Still
Seahawks, yeah.
Seahawks? That shouldn't
We got
be.
Roethlisberger versus
That
Geno Smith.
yeah. No.
Exciting.
It should be Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Sunday Night Football. You know what I mean? But yeah, Chargers are special. Browns are good, and good is the enemy of great. And you don't want to be good. You want to be great. Caleb, your final thoughts.
Yep, Chargers are special. They're looking really great. And guess who beat that great team? The Dallas Cowboys did.
Yeah, whatever. Rematch. Chargers. What's an NFC team? That not Chargers Bucks. That's what's gonna happen. Chargers Bucks, and Chargers gonna win. All right, Caleb. Now let's move on. Caleb, I wanna talk about the game that's close to us at the end. We're gonna put that on the back burner real quick. Let's talk about Cardinals Niners. The Cardinals beat the Niners 17-10. It was Trey Lance's first start. He looked fine. He didn't look great. And they almost beat they almost beat the Cardinals. It was a close game.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals eked it out at the end, and they won in a way that they usually don't win. They won it close. It was gritty. It was defensive, and it shows you that the Cardinals are also special. They looking different this year. You know what I mean? You know, like Kyler Murray was good last year. Now he's great. That's what you expected from Baker Mayfield. Be good, then be great. Kyler Murray is being great. Yeah, Trey didn't look like a rookie. It was his first start. Of course, it
Yeah,
was his first
yeah. I mean,
start.
I didn't really expect much
Yeah,
from him.
I didn't
Yeah,
really
especially
expect.
against the
Yeah,
Cardinals defense.
exactly. Even though they lost Chandler Jones to COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, the Cardinals, man, they're just winning. They're just winning, man, and they're winning in different ways. And you know what? I'm gonna say it again. I like to apologize to Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff, I'm sorry. I apologize for insulting you. I apologize for saying you don't deserve your job. I apologize for you being a failure in college and getting a promotion. And, I apologize. You're a fine young coach. We'll see if you can sustain the success, but I apologize for the moment. But guess what, Cliff? You better be good, because if the wheels fall off the wagon, this is your fault, because the GM has done good, the players have done good. If the Cardinals don't succeed, it's gonna be on your head, Cliff. It's gonna be on your head. It's gonna be on your head. All I'll say is that. Caleb, your thoughts on this game?
I think it shows, even though the Cardinals on offense have been rolling, I think it showed that they can be got. I think they can be slowed down,
Mm-hmm.
and a better team would win this game and beat the Cardinals. With this kind with the way that San Francisco is playing defense on Kyle Murray. So if a better team can do that, then I think the Arizona Cardinals won't look so unstoppable.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jose. He said, "Don't apologize for coaches who latch on to special." Jose, that's your Ravens PTSD talking. Okay, that's your John Harbaugh bad memories talking. It's okay. Sometimes a great QB can latch onto himself. A good enough coach, he's good, man. He's good. The chief, the Cardinals' offense is pretty good. Cliff is pretty good. I'm not gonna Let's not say you're gonna lie. Just because John Harbaugh did that doesn't mean everybody's doing that. It's okay, Jose. It's okay. The world's bright outside of the Baltimore Ravens. Sometimes the coaches are good coaches and actually do a good job. It's okay, Jose. It's all right. You don't need to always assume that, man. I know you've been scarred, and I feel for you, man. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Shout out to Steve Keim, by the way. The reason the Cardinals' offense is stacked is because of Steve Keim, the GM. That's what I'm saying. If they fail, it's because of Cliff Kingsbury. But right now, they're succeeding. You know what I mean? I'm giving equal credit here. I'm giving credit to the players. I'm giving credit to Steve Keim. And
I mean, the receiving game is stacked. They don't really have any running backs.
Yeah, James Conner, Chase Edmonds, and it is what it is. My thing is this: they're humming. So you got to give credit at all levels. The GM, coach, players. Give them all some good credit. They're humming. They're undefeated, and they're winning. So everyone has to be at the same page. That's why I'm giving Cliff some credit. I'm giving Cliff some credit. You know what I mean? Anything else, Caleb?
Oh.
Yeah, all right. So now let's move on, Caleb. The Sunday night game. It was Bills Chiefs. It was delayed in the middle with the Lightning, but before the delayment, the Bills were beating the Chiefs down. They were just stomping a mud hole in them. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, and it wasn't looking good. The Bills we're just cooking. We're just straight cooking, man.
Yeah,
And
I feel
what,
like
what, what were your
I
thoughts?
feel like they blew them out twice. I think they blew them out
Yes, they did.
before the delay and
And then
after
they
the
blew them out.
delay.
Yes, that's true. Because before the delay, it was 24-17. No, 24-13, and then it ended 38-20. You know what I mean? And I'll say is that, man, the Bills are humming, dude. The Bills are humming. See, man, you know what? I got to start trusting my gut. Because on that night, on that day, I chose the Chiefs to beat the Bills. But my gut, I don't know
why
why
you
I did
didn't.
that. I don't know why my gut told me, I second guessed my gut. I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to do that ever again. You know what I mean? So, like, because I remember once when I changed from Chargers Raiders, my gut was telling me Chargers, and I chose the Raiders, and then I went with my gut, and then the Chargers beat the Raiders. The Chiefs were humming, dude. Josh Allen, I know there's a lot of people who like. I don't hate Josh Allen. I hate what he symbolized. You know what I mean? And I'll tell what he symbolized. If people want me to elaborate on that, I will, but I won't do that if people don't want me to. Sean McDermott is a great coach. Brian Daboll is a great offensive coordinator. They're phenomenal. Sean McDermott can create a top 10 defense with string cheese and some paste. String cheese and some paste, you get a top 10 defense. And you know what? Sean McDermott, they've elevated Josh Allen. Josh Allen had all the tools. It's like, yeah, he has the arm, he has the athleticism, you know what I mean? And they've molded him into a fine young quarterback. He's good. He's becoming great. But can he stay great? We will see. And they showed Patrick Mahomes what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They showed him what's up. Caleb,
Yeah,
your thoughts?
the whole Mahomes magic that he had, it's just not working this season.
Nah,
Like
not anymore,
these
man.
special passes that he would kind of be, it's a little bit of like an arrogance he had when he threw the ball, like that he could just make amazing throws and that it would just go. And that's not happening this season. Like he's making mistakes, and I don't know if defense are figuring out or what. It's just not working for him. But I did pick this game. If I talked about this game last week, I said the Bills were, I was picking them because they were playing way better. Didn't matter if it was in Kansas City, didn't matter what it was. They were clearly the better team in this game, and they won going away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Derek Rudley, who's a Panthers fan, says the Bills got all the good Panthers pieces, and the Washington football team got all the lesser ones. That's correct. Davon, the Bills are a solid organization. Yeah, now they are. They finally realized it. They basically stole Brandon Bean from the Panthers. Then Brandon Bean took Sean McDermott from the Panthers, former Panther Sean McDermott. You know what I mean? Like that's what is the Bills ownership. They're run by the wife. What's her name? Terry Pagula. Terry Pagula, who also runs the Buffalo Sabres, she's great. She knows how to run this team. She hired the right pieces to run this team. And you got to give her massive credit because the Bills weren't good as an organization before she bought the team. Because they weren't good. I think it was Ralph Wilson, I believe,
Yeah.
was the owner. And when she bought it, she surpassed, like, she's a phenomenal owner. And like she's one of the only I think the Bills are the only organization. Well, now there are two that are run by the women. They're run by women. Now Washington football team is run by Dan Snyder's wife, which really doesn't really count because
The Bears run by
the Bears. Yeah, so that's why I don't count the Washington football team. Forget about them. What's her name again? I don't know. McClaskey. What's her name?
McCaskey. I don't know.
Yeah, McClaskey. Yeah, George Halas's daughter that runs the Bears. Terry Pagula, she runs the Bills, and she's done a great job. Phenomenal. Like, shout out to Terry Pagula. She's phenomenal, man. She's phenomenal. And she figured it out. Like, this is what you do. And you know what? Like, Sean McDermott, I still don't like how they did Tyrod, how they did him. They did him dirty. They did him dirty. You know what I mean? Which I don't know why they did. You know what I mean? But
probably
it is what it is.
that playoff game he played where he just didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, really bad game that game.
Exactly. And they kind of like wanted a quarterback in that draft. So they kind of like benched him and like made him move on. But it is what it is, you know? They're doing good, man. Dawson Knox, Caleb. Here's another point of that game. Dawson Knox.
Yeah, where did that guy come from?
Old Miss, by the way. He was Evan Ingram's backup. The Giants picked up the wrong Old Miss tight end. That's all I got to point out. Because, Caleb, tight ends in college, you don't know if they're going to be good from their stat line. Dawson Knox's career stat line his senior year of college. 12 catches, or I think it was like 20 catches, 284 yards, 0 touchdowns. If I told you he's going to be a solid tight end in the NFL, would you have believed me?
As a blocker, I don't know.
Davon, I don't know if they're run by the daughter or the wife. I don't know. It's the Ford family, so I got to find out. I'll find out for you. Continue talking. Caleb, your thoughts on Dawson Knox? Let me find that out.
Well, I mean, he had a great freaking game. He got 3 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. So, and he kind of popped out of nowhere because I didn't really know much about him. And, yeah, I mean, played really well. So,
yeah. So the Lions are run by the Lions are run by Hamp. Her name is her what's her name? Hamp. All they say is her name is Hamp. She's the daughter of Martha Firestone Ford. You know what I mean? So it's the Lions and Terry Pagula. You know what I mean? All right, Jose. Have a nice night, brother. All right, fellas, I'm heading
Why
out.
have our teams? Why you gotta say that?
Because he's a loser. Because he's a loser. He's a loser. You know what I mean? He's a Nets fan. He's a Nets fan. You know what I mean? You know, he's a Nets fan. Yeah, whoever picked Dawson Knox had a Orish. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but cool. Yeah. All right, Caleb. Any final thoughts on this game? Because I want to go on the. I want to talk about the Monday night game.
No,
That was wild.
good. But I still think the Chiefs will, they'll still be a good team. They'll get together at some point.
They'll get together, but that defense is not going to get it together.
No, the defense is still going to be crap. But I'm mostly talking about Patrick Mahomes getting together.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now Caleb. You know what? Hey, Davon, are you busy right now? Answer me in the chat real quick. You know, I want to get Davon on here. You know what I mean? I want to get Davon on here. Hey, Davon, are you busy? Tell me if you're busy right now. Cause hold on. All right, man. Let's vamp real quick.
Okay.
The Knicks played today until I get an answer from Davon. I'm laying in bed. Okay.
Oh well, he thought I didn't come on then.
Okay. I was gonna say get you on here to get your thoughts on the Ravens and the you know what, he probably still come on. You're in bed, right? Are you by yourself or are you with your wife? If you're with your wife, then I'll pass because that'd be messed up. But if you're not, man, I'll send you the link right now. You know what? I'll send you the link, and if you want, hop on. Okay? I'm gonna send it to DJ and K Show on Twitter. All right? Let me send that, homie. But you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna send you the link. All right, you know what? Yeah, just keep listening. Thank you for listening, Davon. All right, now let's talk about it. Ravens Colts. It was a wild game. Colts. Let me see. I believe it was 22.
22-3.
It was 22-3 before the comeback happened. It was 22-3, right? And it was looking bad, man. Jonathan Taylor, man, he looked like he was having a great game, but he only ended with 15 rushes with 53 yards.
I mean, Carson Wentz was having a great game.
Yeah.
Starting nowhere.
Well, Jonathan Taylor had a great game receiving, dude. He had 3 catches for 116 in a touchdown.
Because it was all on that screen, that first screen on I think it was maybe the first drive. It just nobody was touching him. When it was straight for a touchdown.
Yeah, man. And then Lamar Jackson just he
fumbled. He was having a bad first half there.
Yeah, it wasn't good, man. And this is Caleb. This is what great players do. They had a horrible first half. It wasn't looking good. Davon, I was, you know what I mean? I was in the Discord and they were talking about the game. I didn't know if they were winning or if they were losing, if good things were happening, because everyone was just angry. Everyone was just mad because the game wasn't going good, and our Discord, the LBHT Discord, it's a lot of vibrant fellows and it's a lot of passion and a lot of anger. Tony Hendo, Davon, Derek, Brodney, Jose, what's his face? Deshaun, that's his face. Deshaun, like they were all talking about the game. Everybody, you know what I mean? And all I say is this, man. He righted the ship. He fixed it. Yeah. He was great. He put on a Superman cape on. And that's what's wild to me, man. This is what I. This
was against a really bad Colts defense.
But they weren't looking bad in the first half. They weren't looking bad in the first half, man. They weren't looking bad in the first half. See, we can say that now, but they weren't looking bad. They only gave him. It was 22-3. It was 22-3.
Yeah.
The Colts looking like it was a beatdown.
I'm just saying from their past games, they haven't looked good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. But Lamar put on that Superman cape on, and he owns the record for the most accurate passes. So a quarterback with a minimum of 40 attempts, Lamar Jackson had the highest accuracy in NFL history at 86%. He had 442 yards and 4 touchdowns. Two people showed up. Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews. Mark
Yeah.
Andrews got his bag, and
He played great.
he played great. And here's the thing too, man. Like Davon can correct me if I'm wrong. He was dropping a lot of balls in the red zone, not getting red zone touchdowns. He caught two of the most clutches in the. You remember that 2-point conversion play he had to catch, and
Yeah.
the defender was draped all over him. You know what I mean? And it was basically pass interference, but he still caught it. That's how you be like, yeah, this is the reason they gave me this bag.
Yep.
This is why I got the bag. You know what I mean? You know, and if he shows up like that every week, he will prove to people why he deserved the bag. And Marquise Brown, there's a lot of talking about Marquise Brown lately. You know, shout out to Bart Scott, Mr. Can't Wait, Mr. Jet, even though he played for the Ravens, but he speaks about the Ravens like they're nothing. Marquise Brown showed up. It's like, what's up? I'm Hollywood, homie. What you going to do?
Yeah, and this wasn't even possible if they didn't get that blocked field goal, and then the Colts missing a field goal and over I think late in the game. Like they had the same kick problems at the Bengals Packers game.
13 missed kicks that last weekend. 13.
Yeah, so I don't know what was up with kickers this week because they were looking really bad. He was having problems, and that's kind of what led to going into overtime.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing too, man. The Ravens are a running team. They passed most of the game. You know what I mean? Not bad for a wide receiver. You know what I mean?
Not bad for them. They don't really have any running backs right now.
Yeah, they have no running backs. They have 0 running backs. Their running back is Lamar Jackson. And, you know, like the Colts should have won this game. I'm going to be real with you. The Colts should have won this game. Carson Wentz choked the game away. You know what I mean? And, like, the defense, too. Like, the defense completely collapsed. You know, they were playing very well. You know, but here's the thing. Lamar made them collapse. You know what I mean? You still got to give credit to Lamar Jackson. And he played very well. And, you know what I mean? Lamar Jackson is a quarterback. I think that game showed everyone that he is a quarterback. He plays quarterback. Not running back, not wide receiver, not defensive back, not safety. He plays quarterback.
Yeah. He's really well.
He does it very well. Hey, man, see, next week, Chargers, Ravens. The rematch of Lamar's first playoff game, where the Chargers beat them by playing with 8 corners, like no linebackers, full on 8 corners to them. That's so scary. Up next, you know, track meet Sunday. It's gonna be a great game. It's phenomenal. It's gonna be a phenomenal game. All right, Caleb. We've gotten to the end of the recap. Now let's talk about the game that is near and dear to our heart. Well, caused me pain, caused you joy. Let's talk about it. The first edition of this year's one of NFL's greatest rivalries.
Yes.
For years. It's us versus you, us versus the Eagles are 2 of the greatest rivalries of all time.
Oh, I thought it was just me versus you was the greatest rivalry.
Well, that's a rivalry in its own category because apparently me and you will never ever share a team that we love in sports, to be honest.
No. That's the
like
fun.
Never. That's the fun of it. I'm a Krakens fan. You're a Knights fan. We got robbed, by the way. You're a Cowboys fan. I'm a Giants fan. The Knicks don't really have a rivalry with the Mavericks, so that doesn't really count. Even though you have Kristaps Porzingis, but it is what it is. But yes, let's talk about it. The Cowboys, the Giants. Final score 44-20, and it was bad. It was bad after.
I told you it was. You were so goddamn confident last week.
I was. On here. No. Shut your mouth. Let me tell you something. Shut your mouth.
No.
Hey, it was 17-10. It was a 1-score game. And then we lost
our
starting.
You really believe that it was a 1-score game?
It was a 1-score game.
You really believe that?
It really was a 1-score game.
But you believe that, though?
Yes, I do believe that because if we scored on that goal line that he got hurt, it would have been a tie game.
It may have been a 1-score game on the scoreboard, but it was not a 1-score game. It stops being a 1-score game when you're starting running back and you're starting receiver and you're starting quarterback all leave with injuries. You wouldn't have done anything anyways. It would just been okay. It wouldn't have been 24. It would have been 14.
Wait, so I would think we would have won that game. We would
You
have won
would
the game.
not have won the
It would have
game.
been a, it would have been a
You would have
shootout, man.
not have won the game.
It, it would have been a shootout. It would have been a shootout.
No, it would not have.
Yes, it
We
would have
had
been.
it in control. The only reason why it was close is because we screwed up we were shooting ourselves in the foot with bad
Well,
turnovers.
who caused the bad
Not you
turnovers?
guys. We
We
did it on
did.
our own.
We did, man. We
You
caused the
did
turnovers.
nothing on the snap. How is you doing anything on a
They got
hot snap
scared.
doing
They got
anything?
scared. They got
You did
scared.
nothing.
They
You
got
did
scared.
nothing. We shot ourselves in the foot. That's why we went off to a slow start. That's why it seemed close, but we were going down the field on you with ease. Like you had no resistance to our offense. That's why it was never in question. This game was never in question. So that's what I'm saying. May have been one score on the scoreboard, but in reality, it was not a one score game. We were blowing you out all throughout the game because we were driving. Our offense was driving so well. A run, pass, it didn't matter. We could do it all. Like take your pick. We were doing it on the Giants. We were getting and Trayvon Diggs keep going on a streak. He is the best corner in the NFL right now. He had because he has the most interceptions. He has 6 picks in 5 games. He looks great, and Dak Prescott looks amazing. Like he's playing amazing MVP football right now.
I mean, Trayvon Diggs didn't look good when Kadarius Toney broke him on that in and out. You saw that? So he broke him on that in and out. I know the game was over, but he broke him. He broke him, man. He still broke him. Kadarius Toney's special. He a goon.
Yeah, well, kind of a jerk too because he got thrown out of the game.
Hey, man, you started it.
We did not start it. You guys started. You guys pushed our guy. We were defending our guy, and then you threw a punch. What a jackass!
You shoved him into the ground.
What
He got angry.
Jackass!
You know who's a jackass? That guy who punched Evan Ingram in the face after the game. That's who a jackass is. You ever heard? Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about that, Caleb? After the game.
On camera?
Oh, that wasn't on camera. Oh, just because it wasn't on camera, it doesn't count. Yeah, man. Evan Ingram's like, yeah, he punched me. And guess what Evan Ingram said? It was a baby punch. It didn't hurt.
Well, at least he can land. Unlike dumbass Kadarius Toney couldn't even
He landed. He
did not land. He missed.
It bounced off his helmet.
He missed.
Davon, I don't know who's going to play wide receiver this week. Everyone's injured. Everyone's injured. Like everybody is. Like everyone. Kadarius Toney's questionable. Sterling Sharp's questionable. Sterling Shepard is questionable. Darius Slayton is questionable. I guess Colin Johnson and CJ Board are our starting wide receivers, with Mike Lennon and Devontae Booker in the backfield. That's New York Giants football. Woo! Horrible ass team.
Daniel Jones did not look good getting up though.
No, dude.
You just see him wobble like that, like goddamn.
Did it look bad? It looked bad. He dipped his head and tried to use it as a battering ram. It's like, no, dude. Either you got to dip your shoulder or you go down. And it was bad, man. It was bad. It was pretty bad, man. There's nothing really much I got to say, man. It was like, okay, rational Giants fan now. Putting on my rational Giants hat. Our defense was horrible. We overpaid for Leonard Williams. He's a waste of money. He literally does nothing. James Bradbury has regressed horribly. Not very good. We didn't have Andrew Thomas, and Nate Solder was being abused by Randy Gregory the entire game. I guess not giving up on Randy Gregory really paid off for the Cowboys, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we always saw the talent in him. It was just he couldn't stay off the weed.
Yeah. And Michael Parsons took Matthew Pert apart. Our offensive line isn't very good. We weren't going to win this game. But you know what I mean? I got to believe in my team.
Then why the hell are you so confident?
Because, Caleb, it's my team. I got to be confident.
If you're bad, then say you're bad and don't pick them.
Well, we're going to lose to the Rams next week, so it is what it is.
Oh, you're going to lose the Rams, but you weren't going to lose to us.
No, because it's a rivalry game. Crazy stuff has happened. I remember one year when we sucked, we beat you. It was like weird. We beat Tony Romo when I think the Giants were like 2-8, and we beat the Cowboys. And you're like, what the hell? What the hell just happened?
Well, someone was probably hurt.
Yeah, exactly. But y'all should still beating us. All right, Caleb. Now let's preview the week up ahead.
All right.
We just talked about the now it's like the early game, the really early, the 6:30 London game. Why do we punish London by sending them bad teams?
Why are we
Why do
punishing me to wake up at 6:30 in the morning? How
you
about
don't
we
have
talk about
to?
that?
You don't have to, bro.
But I
You
have
don't
to.
have to. No, you
I
don't
bet
have
on
to.
these games. I have to watch
All
it.
right. Dolphins, Jaguars. Caleb, your thoughts?
This is ugly. This is an ugly game. Like, who the hell wants to watch this game? Like, my God, it's in the early morning. It's in
Joseph
London.
Burrows. Joseph Burrows is gonna watch this game.
Yes. Well, I don't know why he's a New Yorker rooting for the Dolphins,
I,
anyways.
I don't know. I don't. You know, I stopped asking questions because I'm a Californian rooting for the New York Giants. So I don't really judge.
But I mean, I guess I'll take the Dolphins. This two is coming back. At least it looks like it. At least they it looks like two is coming back. So at least I may give them a boost. Jaguars still dealing with all the Urban Meyer stuff. Urban Meyer's definitely happy that all the Raiders stuff happened because it can take some attention off of him. But the Jaguars are still badly coached. They have bad players. Trevor Lawrence is kind of Lawrence pretty much doing everything over there, and the Dolphins going to win this.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly agree. I'm going Dolphins. I know that's the team I picked in the pick'em. So I know what I picked in the pick'em. Like I know. So it won't be shady. Caleb, calm down. Yeah. So Jaguars stink. Playing in London. That's pretty much it. That's all I really got to say. Yeah. All right, Caleb. Vikings Panthers. Who you got?
Vikings, Panthers. I got the Panthers. I mean, it's not very confident after the way they played against the Eagles. But I think that eventually they got to bounce back and start playing good. They still have Christian McCaffrey out, right?
Yes.
So it'll be a struggle, but they are at home. Vikings, yeah, they barely kind of beat a Lions team, which is pretty bad. So they don't look
Mhm.
good either. So I got to take. I think the Panthers are still the better team here, so I'll take them.
I'm gonna go. I'm going Vikings because they lost Shaq Thompson, their linebacker. That's a big blow to the defense. I do. I still trust Brian Burns, Derek Brown, their defensive line. I think Jeremy Chin, C.J. Henderson, and he's playing very well. But I think the Vikings is going to be a shootout. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be I think the Vikings is going to score a lot of points because Dalvin Cook's coming back. Adam Thielen is there and Justin Jefferson's there. I'm going Vikings by a slim margin. No, not even shootout. Like they're gonna like score like 28 points, something
I don't
like
know if
that.
there can be a shootout with
Yeah,
these teams.
it can't be a shootout with these teams. Yeah, so I'm going Vikings. Yeah. All right. Yeah, crazier things has happened. The Knicks did went to the playoffs this year. Yes, we did. We did, man. We did.
Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. We did pretty crazy. Unlike the Charlotte Hornets. They couldn't make the playoffs. Now, Caleb, one of the games that I'm very excited for next week: Chargers, Ravens. Who you got?
I have the Chargers. I mean, they just look better. I mean, their offense looks good. Justin Hurt looks great. Um, yeah, they gave up a lot of points to the run game, but the Ravens don't have a run game except for Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem for them. And the Ravens, yeah, they just don't look that clean. Their wins don't look clean.
Mm-hmm.
They always struggle with these wins a lot of these times, and I just can't pick them against the Chargers.
It's gonna bite them in the ass. It's
Yeah,
gonna bite them. Yeah. So like, cause like you know what I mean. Yeah, I do want to put something on it. I do want to put something on Derek. We're gonna beat our over. We're gonna have more wins than you. Yeah, I said it. We're better than the Hornets. Yeah, yeah. I want to put some money on it. Let's put some money on it, homie. All right, I'm going Chargers for this very reason. Like the Ravens can't keep doing this. They can't keep falling behind, and then Lamar has to put on his cape and he saves them. He can't do it. You can't do that against a good team. You can't do that against the Chargers. You can't do that against a good team, man. And the Chargers are a good team. And Justin Herbert isn't Carson Wentz. Justin Herbert will put you away. He will put you away. He will end you. He will end you. And let's be real, the Ravens defense isn't very good. Who like they blitz a lot And Marlon Humphrey, um, Davon knows it better. He don't like Marlon Humphrey. He ain't playing up to his potential. You know what I mean? And I think the Chargers will win because Justin Herbert will be the X factor. Two great quarterbacks. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Austin Eckler. There's the X factor. Austin Eckler is going to run wild. You know what I mean? And actually, produce very well against the Ravens. But here's the thing, man. Ravens, I think, are a little fool's goldie. They're winning these games in spectacular fashion, but when they get to a good team like the Chargers or good teams later on in the season, they can't fall behind by this. They can't fall behind 22-3 to the Chargers. They can't. Because if they fall behind 22-3 to the Chargers will win. They will win. They will win.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's gonna catch up to them. It's gonna catch up to them, man. It's gonna catch up to them. I'm going Chargers. All right, Caleb. Now let's go Rams, Giants. I'm gonna go first. I'm picking the Rams for this very reason. The Giants defense is horrible. They have no corners, and their safeties. I believe in one of their defense backs. His name is Xavier McKinney. He's a young safety, but he doesn't play corner. So Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, whoever has Robert Woods in their fantasy teams is going to have a great game. Robert Woods is going to get you like 30 points. Whoever has Cooper Kupp, he's probably going to give you 20, 25, 30 points as well. The Rams are going to rip apart the Giants. It's not going to be close because the Giants have a lot of people injured as well, but they weren't even, the defense wasn't. But here's the thing. The people that are injured for the Giants are their offensive players, not their defensive players. None of their defensive players are injured. So it's the same people next week. And Aaron Donald is coming to town.
Is Daniel Jones going to play?
I don't believe so.
Well, yeah.
I bet, Derek, $20 fine. $20. There it is. Bet. Aaron Donald is going to rip apart Willie Hernandez, and he's going to rip apart Matt Skura. It's going to be bad. The Rams are going to big Rams. It's going to be bad. Kill.
Yeah, I agree. The Rams are going to blow out the Giants. I mean, they really don't have a fighting chance. Like, they don't have their quarterback. They don't have the running back. They don't have the receivers. They got no firepower to fight back in this game. They got nothing. They had nothing to work with. So the Rams are going to blow them out. It's not even going to be close. It'll be domination throughout the game.
Yeah. Like Ezekiel Jackson. Like domination. Like just straight. This here is what you call domination. Domination is one word. Domination. All right, now, Caleb. Texans, Colts. I'll go first this time. I'm going the Colts because the Colts are better than the Texans. They're not great, but they're good. Jonathan Taylor's going to have a great game, I believe. The offense is going to be run through Jonathan Taylor. The Texans are with Davis Mills, and they're not very good. They're horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Colts will win. The Colts will win. They looked good against the Ravens until they completely fell apart in the second half. But guess what? The Texans aren't the Ravens. Texans don't have Lamar Jackson. It is what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans won. They somehow.
I would be.
Well, I wouldn't because it's a divisional game. Still, it really on those type of games, sometimes it doesn't matter how good or bad teams are.
The Titans beat the Jaguars up, and we all expected it to happen.
I'm just saying that it happens sometimes where they just in these divisional games that sometimes you like you even said the Giants were bad and they beat us or whatever. Like that stuff happens in these rivalry games.
Used to do that all the time to us. That pissed me off. That's why I hate the Eagles so much. Like when they would stink, they would find a way to beat us, and you're like, "How? You're freaking 6-10. What is this?" And one of their 6 was us. It'd be irritating. But yeah, you're right about that. You're right.
But but it's the Colts because they're slightly better. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they had Tyrod Taylor, I might go Texans.
Yeah, I would too. Honestly, I would too because Tyrod Taylor would be slightly better than Carson Wentz, which is sad. Yeah.
So go Colts.
Yeah. All right, Caleb. Now let's move on. Bengals, Lions. We don't know if Joe Burrow is going to play this game because he has the throat contusion. So we have no idea if he's going to play or not. And the Lions have been really close to winning the past couple of weeks. They had to get a 66-yard field goal had to beat them against the Ravens, and another field goal had to be beating them by the Vikings. Greg Joseph had to like finally make his field goals. You know what I mean? Greg Joseph should be like, I want to play the Lions every week because I make field goals against the Lions. And I just if Joe Burrow doesn't play, I'm going Lions. But I think he will play, and I picked him in our pick 'em, going Bengals. But if he doesn't play, I think the Lions will win. But I think he will play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it will play too. The Lions are the Lions. They just find different ways to lose games. I think after emotional loss like they went through, it's I don't know how much fight they have left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much times they can keep doing this where they can fight back in these games. I think the Bengals will this time they won't have the fight to come back, and I think Bengals will put them away early.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen. All right, now let's move on. All right, I think this is gonna be the game of the week if we want to think about it. Cardinals Browns. I'm going with the Cardinals because of what the Browns did last week because they couldn't stop the dang Chargers. They're not gonna stop the Cardinals, man. The, even though they lost Max Williams, but they don't really use tight ends anyway, so it doesn't really matter. AJ Green, Rondell Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, slot it out. They're gonna spread them out, spread them thin because the Browns don't have their corners fully back because Greg Newsome I think is still injured. KO JOK Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. He's gonna be in the game. He's probably gonna play like on Rondell Moore maybe. But the Cardinals just have so much speed. Just so much speed, you know what I mean? And here's the thing. What happened with David Njoku last week, Isaiah Simmons is not going to allow David Njoku to do that again. Because Isaiah Simmons is a freak. They did lose Chandler Jones to the COVID protocols. But yeah, Isaiah Simmons is going to shut down David Njoku. And you know what? Buda Baker, Byron Murphy are going to play very well against the receivers. Because the only receiver you have to worry about is who? Like Odell Beckham Jr., and they still don't do nothing with him.
I mean, you don't really have to worry about him.
You don't really have to worry about him. Exactly. He doesn't really do anything. And it's sad to see because he's so special. He is so special. Because people don't forget, he made Eli Manning look good. You know what I mean? That's how special he was. That's why people were like, oh, but why did you bench Eli Manning? Because Odell had to bail him out all the time. He's not a very good quarterback. So I'm going the Cardinals in a shootout. Cardinals. Caleb.
I'll talk about this game in my betting.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll stick tuned. All right. Our final 4 games of the week, Caleb. Probably some of these are in your betting as well. Probably some of these are.
One of these.
One of these. All right. Tell me which one.
The Chiefs, Washington.
Okay, so we'll skip Chiefs. Oh, did we skip Chiefs, Washington? We skipped Chiefs, Washington.
That's good because I want to talk about it later.
Okay, good. All right, so it was all right, cool. All right, so we'll keep that on the back burner for later on. All right, now Cowboys, Patriots. We're going Patriots. I mean, I'm going Cowboys.
I was about to say, you son of a bitch.
Oh, shit. Oh. We actually forgot another game.
Well, we'll talk about it next.
No. We forgot, but we also forgot Packers, Bears. Okay. I'm going with the Packers because of this reason. Aaron Rodgers is 12-0 against the Bears the last 12 times he's played. That's why. Aaron Rodgers. He owns the Bears. He's their daddy. Packers. Caleb.
Yeah, I think the Packers got to recognize that all they're doing is running the ball. If they can stop that, they can win. Yeah. And I believe they can do that. And Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. I mean, he's gonna roast them. Exactly. So I got the Packers big in this one.
All right, now let's move back on. Cowboys, Patriots. Going Cowboys. Why? They just have this juice right now. They're on a 4-game win streak. They got weapons galore. Even though they lost Michael Gallup, they still got Cedric Wilson, Mari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, and Tony Pollard are very good. They have a solid offensive line, even though they lost Leo Collins. And Dak Prescott's just special. He's special, man. Like, I can shit on him as much as I want, but if someone said, "Hey, Dak Prescott will be on the New York Giants next year," I'd be like, thank the Lord. Lord, I thank you for doing this for me. Because he's special, man. And the Patriots, they're not gonna beat good teams. It'll beat okay to bad teams, but they're not gonna beat this good team. Cowboys, big.
Yeah. Well,
Dalton
obviously,
Schultz. Shout out to Dalton Schultz. He's my tight end.
obviously, obviously, I got the Cowboys. The Patriots are not.
Really? That's a shock.
Patriots barely managed to beat Davis Mills and the Texans. Barely beat them. And even with Belichick's great record against rookie quarterbacks, and they just inched out them. And I think the problem, only real thing we have that the Patriots got going for is their defense. Matthew Judon is playing great. It's the only really guy I'm really even worried about. But they're going to try to stop the run because that's what we've been doing most often this season. But that's fine. They want to stop the run. We're going to pass all over them because that's what we can do too. It doesn't matter what you want to pick or they pick run or pass. We can do it, and we're going to dominate you by doing that. And I think that we'll be running up the score with how much passing we'll be doing.
Yep.
So yeah, Cowboys big.
Cowboys big. Cowboys big. All right, now let's move on. Raiders Broncos. I'm gonna go with. It's actually because here's the thing. I chose the Broncos because I don't know if the Raiders can can use the emotion to their benefit. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna be able to use the emotion to their benefit. It's gonna be to the detriment. I think because they're gonna be too hyped up, and the Broncos are just gonna go in there and win. It's like just a regular old game to them. Because I think the emotion is gonna be too much for the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. Like I don't really know who to pick in this game. Yeah, because sometimes when these crazy controversies happens to a team, they rally around the interim head coach and they come out with total emotion. Say, yeah, we're gonna prove everybody wrong. We're gonna win this game. And
it's also a Denver home game too.
Yeah,
home game, FYI.
Yeah, and the Raiders play better at home than on the road. So I'm going to take the Broncos, even though they didn't play particularly well last week. But they're right now I can't pick the Raiders with all the controversy, without how they played last week against Bears. It just doesn't look good for them right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they play with emotion and they come out and win.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I went with the Broncos, man. It's gonna be too much emotion with no offense to Rich
Bisaccia.
Bisaccia. Yeah, Rick Bisaccia. It's gonna be too much for him. It's gonna be too much. And he's gonna lose. Sorry to Rich Bisaccia. Sorry about that, dog. He's gonna lose. All right, now, Caleb, the horrible Sunday night game that shouldn't be the Sunday night game. We got.
What's that?
Good?
No, I froze.
Yeah, you froze? All right.
Yeah, what was the next game?
Seahawks, Steelers. Geno Smith versus Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I don't know why this is Sunday night. This is a horrible Sunday night game. I guess I'd have the Steelers for one more Roethlisberger, whatever he's got left in the tank game. They are playing at home. I don't know what Geno Smith kind of came out just because you kind of didn't know what to expect from Geno, so that's why I thought he had a little bit of success, but he still ended up throwing that last interception even though the guy slipped. I think with a week of preparation, the Steelers will scheme a good enough defense to be stopping Geno Smith because he's not really that good of a quarterback, so I can't imagine him winning this game.
All right, man. All right, you want my. You know who's going to win this game, Caleb?
What's that?
West Virginia, Geno Smith. That's who's going to win this game. The shooter, man. The shooter out of West Virginia. Bang, 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 bang. Geno Smith's going to win this. You know why? Because there's no Juju Smith. They have a horrible defense right now. I know Mike Tomlin is a good coach. But I'm going Geno.
Honestly, you can go either way. I'm not really feeling either.
Here's the thing. Hey, Geno has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Like, I know he threw the interception, but Tyler Lockett got, he fell. He tripped and fell. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's why the interception was thrown, because he was throwing to Tyler Lockett. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to win this game. Geno Smith and the Seahawks will win this game. Going with Geno. All right, Caleb. Lastly, Bills Titans. I'll go first. I'm going with the Bills, man. They're just humming. They're humming, man. They're humming. I understand that the Titans got Derrick Henry. I get it.
That's it.
But that's it. Like Julio Jones is injured. AJ Brown injured. It's Ryan Tannehill. They ain't got no defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they ain't got no defense. So I'm going Bills. Bills big.
Yeah.
Bills
Like
big, man.
you can't if the Titans can't even stop Zach Wilson in his offense, and they
Yeah.
ain't gonna stop Josh Allen this great offense. And yeah, they do have Derrick Henry. That's pretty much all they're going to rely on. In defense, the Bills have a good enough defense where they can stop that. Well, maybe not stop it, but at least slow it down enough where it won't really be an issue. And the Bills are just a way better team right now than the Titans.
Exactly. Exactly. So Bills, we're going both Bills. All right, now Caleb. We're towards the end of the show. Now let's end it off by your betting segment. Your two games you talking about. What are the two games?
The first one is Cardinals Browns. I am taking the line is 2.5, and I think this is exactly the same game as Bills Chiefs. Bills at Chiefs, Cardinals at Browns. It's the same game, because the Bills were getting 2, and the Cardinals are getting 2.5. So it's very, very similar. And the reason why it's similar is because both the team that's getting that's the underdog is the better team. I don't understand why the Bills weren't favored last week, and this week I don't understand why the Cardinals are the underdog this week. I think this is the odds makers are wrong. They get it wrong sometimes. I think right here they are totally dead wrong, and the Cardinals are going to beat them. I mean, the Cardinals are way better than the Browns. Browns don't beat good teams. They let Chargers score 47 points. I think the same thing can happen with Kyle Murray and the Cardinals offense. The away teams are still winning more than the home teams are. So that's why I really like the Cardinals in this one.
All right.
And
anything else?
What's that?
Chiefs Washington.
Chiefs Washington. Right? Well, you want to say your picks first? You didn't see your thoughts.
No, I said the Cardinals. They're
no, Chiefs Washington. Chiefs
Washington. Yes, my thoughts. I'm going with Chiefs because their offense, Washington defense is kind of faltered this year. Hasn't been as good as it was advertised, and I think it's going to be a shootout though. It's going to be a shootout, but the Chiefs will win at the end. It's going to be like it's going to be the Eagles game. You know how the Eagles game was 42-30 yes. Chiefs? It's going to be the same game, like 42-45 Chiefs, 30 points to Washington. That's what's going to happen. Offensive juggernaut. Continue, Caleb.
Yeah. So I have the Chiefs winning the game, but they will not cover the spread. This is a big spread. I'm picking Washington +7 for a similar reason, because they couldn't stop the Eagles. The Eagles were scoring a lot of points on them. I think the Washington offense is probably similar to the Eagles offense, and they can score just as many points and keep it just as close. So I don't, and the Chiefs, the odds makers have been overrating them and overvaluing them because they're a public team, and the public has been betting a lot of money on the Chiefs, and that's why they're always favorited with these big point spreads. And I just think that it's wrong. I think they're overvalued right now, and their defense is terrible, and I just can't imagine that the Chiefs will blow them away so much that they'll cover the spread. And so I have the Washington +7, but I will take the Chiefs in the end to win this game.
Anything else, go?
Yeah. On a side note, the under's still winning. But I did correctly predict. If you read my last article, I correctly predicted that the underdogs the whole month, the whole 4 weeks, first 4 weeks, that the underdogs were winning. I said week 5, don't go with the underdogs. Go with the favorites, and the favorites won out. They were 12-4 straight up, 9-7 against the spread. So you went favorites. You came out pretty damn well.
All right. On that note, Caleb, thank you all our viewers for joining us Hope you had another great show. We certainly did. Next week will be same time after the Thursday night game. I believe it's Browns Packers. I believe. Let me double check.
Don't think that's right. Uh,
Yeah, Broncos Browns. It's going
Broncos Browns.
Broncos Browns next week. We'll be here same time 8:30 and no latest than 9. Shout out to my dog Caleb. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Davon, Jim Miller, Jose, Derek, Star Drew, Joe. Shout out to Joe. Make sure to like this video, comment on this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, like my channel did. Not knowing how I did that without, I didn't know that was gonna happen, which is weird. We need to talk about something. Yeah, and thank you. Hope everyone has a wonderful night. Hope everyone stays safe. Much love and peace.